What's going on, YouTube world? This is your guy, Sealz the man, back at you with another nighttime edition episode. And on tonight's episode, I'm going to be talking about, of course, understanding the mind of good men, decent men, solid men. And a big part of a man being a solid man, a decent man, a good man is his mind. But when it comes to what goes on in his mind and towards you, his partner, his woman, that's when it gets a little complex, because there's a branch, a network of things that incorporates his mind's bond and relationship with you, and what keeps him there with you, and why he wants to be with you. And one of the biggest major reasons and aspects why a man wants and stays with a woman is because of his confidence in his woman. Confidence is one of the least talked about yet most important aspects in a person's personality, a person's drive force, what makes them do the things they do, a whole bunch of good stuff. But tonight I'm going to break down 6 easy ways to boost a man's confidence in you. And the first way to boost your man's confidence, or any man in your life's confidence in you, not just anybody but you, is 1, never showing signs of regret. One of the worst things you can do is show regret. Plant a seed of doubt in a person's mind and it will do nothing but grow. And once these seeds of doubt grow, they grow into something real nightmarish. Sometimes you can't come back from this when it grows to its fullest potential. But it all starts from that one small seed of doubt, of regret. For example, I hate seeing people, especially couples, when they go through hardships or complicated situations, say things like, "Oh, I wish I never knew you. I wish I never met you." I hate to hear this in situations that can be resolved if they were to communicate and talk through it and work on it. But when you automatically show signs of regret, wishing that you never met me, telling me things that makes me feel like I'm not good enough for you, even though I tried my very hardest to be the man for you. When you're showing me signs of regret with being with me, that is the easiest way to destroy a man's confidence in you. But when you are the opposite, when you say the opposite of those things, when you are patient with your love with this man, when you're willing to work it out, when you're willing to talk through it, when you know this thing can be fixed between y'all two, showing that you do not regret ever meeting him and him being in your life, is an ultimate way to boost a man's confidence in you, especially in times of turmoil. I always say people will show their true selves when you know what hits the fan. That is when people show their true colors. But in times like that, you'll see people have a tendency to say things like this, say things of regret, and plant that bad seed. The second way to boost your man's, or any man in your life's, confidence in you is trusting him to make and lead decisions. Listen, I know a lot of y'all women out there are very strong women. Y'all know exactly what y'all doing. Y'all probably been doing this all y'all lives before y'all met this man. You've probably been called a strong woman. But listen, when you have a good man, a decent man, a man who is worth something, a man of valor, the man for you, you do not always have to be strong. You can put that aside now, because I got you. He has you. And that is what we're supposed to do. But in order for us to do that for you, in order for him to do that for you, you have to trust in his leadership. You have to trust in his decision making. You have to trust that he's going to make the right decision for not only him, but the both of y'all. But there must be trust in that aspect, because when you do not have trust in that aspect, it shows. Because when you don't have trust in his decision making, or you don't have trust in his leadership, now you do things like questioning him. You're asking your people if this thing that he's suggesting is the right move to make. Going back to me, to my personal beliefs, if my relationship is not based on the love of God, if my relationship is not based on faith in God, then I cannot have that relationship, because that is where my source comes from. Because I can trust in him to make my decisions, to lead my life. Because without God in my relationships, I am doomed. So I'm not comparing God's responsibilities to a man's responsibility in a relationship, but what I do believe is that God places a man in your life to make those decisions for the both of y'all as a whole. So if you do not have trust in your man, then you do not have trust in God's decision making for your life. But I just want to tell you how my mind works when it comes to these type of relationships, and the role and responsibilities that man has in a relationship. But once you show that you have trust in your man to make decisions, to lead y'all as your man, as the father of your family and household, as the head of your household, whatever the situation is between y'all two, that will boost his confidence in him feeling like he can do that for you. Third way to boost your man's confidence in you is when you are his spark in challenging times. I always say this in my videos when it comes to being the ultimate partner for your man, and that is you should be his biggest cheerleader. That shouldn't even be a question. You should want to be his biggest cheerleader. It should be inherited, a given. But specifically when he's going through his rough times, his rough patches, his dark times, when you are the spark to his battery, because in those times his battery's pretty low, when you are the light to his dark rooms, his dark times, because it is pretty dark in these dark times, when you show hope and your love shines through his turbulence and tribulations, that boosts his confidence in you, because it shows him that you truly have his back. Because it can get very lonely as a man when I'm going through something or when we go through something, because there's not many people that we can tell everything to. Yeah, we got best friends, we got cliques, we got homies, we got brothers, we got sisters. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there's certain things that we can't tell to each of them. We can tell a lot of things to them, but we won't be telling everything to them. But the one person that we usually tell the most things, if not everything, is our woman. Straight up. So if your man is able to come to you in these turbulent times, these challenging times, and you up him, you boost him, you tell him it's gonna be okay, you cheerlead him, you praise him, you put his chin up, you are there for him, that will not only boost his confidence in the situation that he's going through, but it's going to boost his confidence in you, because he knows that you're always going to be there for him. There's not many better feelings than that. The next interesting way to boost your man's confidence in you is when you speak highly of him to others. And then you mess around and find out that she was speaking highly of you. And now you like, oh, she said it about me? Oh, wow, she told you that about me? And then you get to a position where you're by yourself and you start thinking like, wow, she really rocks with me. She out here telling people about me and singing her praises of me to people, and she doesn't have to do this, but she is. That's because she wants to. She is so proud of me that she's proud to tell other people about me, the accomplishments that I've done, or the way she loves me, or just the way she's so proud of me, and she's out here telling people that, and like, wow, she is truly my love. You might as well take your man's confidence on a rocket and shoot it right up, because that's exactly what's going to happen. That is amazing, especially when you truly mean it. And it's funny because when it comes to this, a man will find out about this accidentally, because the person that she told will tell him like, yeah, you know, your girl's telling me about this and that, and how you did this and that, and how you're doing so good, and how you're so amazing, and you're just saying like, oh, I didn't know that. She is singing of your praises without you even knowing. That is authentic. That speaks volumes of you, but it also speaks values of what she feels about you. Confidence booster. The next one I want to talk about, the next easy way to boost your man's confidence in you, is when you make him feel valuable to you, making him feel needed without being needy. Let me tell you something. A man wants to be a man, and part of being a man is doing. Men produce. We use labor to create. We want to impress our woman. That is why we are so in love with strength and the showcase of strength. We want to be the best version of ourselves. And there is no better way to bolster that part of being a man than making him feel like he is needed, that he brings value to you. And y'all can attest to this. There are plenty of relationships out there where the partner is doing everything they can for the other partner, and they are not being appreciated as they should. For many reasons. Maybe they're just used to it now. They're bored of it. That's a thing. Or they're using them. But no one likes to feel used. And if your man starts to feel like he's being used without anything being reciprocated, no love, appreciation, gratefulness, he is not going to want to do those things. And what do you think that leads to? Less confidence in you. So in order to do the opposite effect of that, make him feel needed. Make him feel wanted. Make him feel like he's bringing value to you. Ask him to do things. Ask him to showcase his strength, to help you out with something. Ask him questions or inquiries for information that only he knows. Don't ask other men in your life to do these things. Ask him. And even if he's not able to do it in that moment, best believe, I'm talking about decent men here, good men who really want you. He's going to take the time to get whatever that ask of you is done. He's going to get to it eventually, but you need to ask him that. Don't ask no other man. Make him feel like he's the only man. That boosts his confidence in you, because he believes that you are confident in him. You see how that two-way street works? And the last one I'm going to bring up, And I feel like this is important and essential and needed because we all mess up. None of us are perfect. But this last way to increase a man's confidence in you is when you hold him down in public, but also hold him accountable in private. So when I say hold him down in public, that means you stand by his side in public. You got his back in public. You will never betray him in public. You'll never play him out in public. Even when he does a mistake, you won't embarrass him in public because that is your man. That is what it is to hold him down in public. But also check out the flip side of that. What else did I say? You hold him accountable in private. Nothing done in public will be left alone and put aside, especially if there was some wrongdoing or some mistake or something you didn't like. That needs to be handled in private because I feel like embarrassment is the worst thing you can do to your partner. If it can be handled at home or in private, that should be the route taken. Embarrassing situations and embarrassing moments can lead to embarrassing results. We don't want that. We all about positivity right now. Problem solving, right? Resolutions here on Sealz the Man's channel. But when you hold him accountable in private, it shows that you truly care about him. It shows that you truly care about his well-being, but it also shows that you have respect for yourself as a woman and that there's certain things that you like, but there's also certain things that you don't like. There's certain things that you appreciate and certain things you don't appreciate, especially when it comes from your man. And sometimes we need that reminder, especially in those long relationships where y'all getting comfortable, y'all getting used to each other. Sometimes you slip up and forget something. You need to get checked, but you do that in private. You hold me accountable. You don't let things slide because when you let small mistakes slide, they grow into big mistakes outside. And as your good man, your decent man, your solid man, your man, I want to be the best version of myself. But in order to do that, your responsibility as my woman, as my partner, is to hold me accountable so that I can become that best version of myself. Because if you don't hold me accountable, if I am not accountable to myself, then I will never grow. I will never be able to reach that plateau of maximizing myself because I'm doing the same mistakes down here. That is putting a cap on me. But as my woman, you tell me when I do wrong, or if you feel like something could have been done differently, or I could have been better in a certain situation. I want to know that. And I only want to hear from you, honestly. I don't want to hear from nobody else. I would rather you hold me down in private than a cop holding me down in a prison cell or a judge holding me down in a courtroom. I would rather your honesty and your wise words, because I know it's coming from a loving place, come from you, and I will hear that. I will take heed because I know it's coming from a good place. So these are my 6 easy ways to boost a man's confidence in you, and these are must because these will make your relationships with this man in your life so much better when you incorporate these things coming from your guy, Sealz the Man, your internet brother, your internet friend, so you know it's coming from a good place. I will catch y'all in my next video. Peace and blessings. Good night.